class 10. So we have already started with chapter 9, household circuits, right? So now we'll move on to fuse, okay? Suppose you have in your house an electrical appliance. It has got certain ratings, say 10 kilowatt, 100 volt. That means from that information which we already know that we can calculate the safety limit of current which can pass through it, right? So that means different electrical appliances in your house has got different safety limit of current which can pass through it. Now by if any chance short circuit happens, okay, or say you have taken the connections from the city substation to your house. Suppose you have taken the connections from for a certain, say you have got 2 rooms and you have got say 20 total appliances, and for those 20 appliances you have been taking a certain amount of power supply from the city substation, okay. Now if suppose you increase say the number of appliances to such a limit such that the power supply which you were previously taking, okay, for your house, now it exceeds the limit which you were actually supposed to take. Understood? That means suppose, say, just imagine in from a single source, power supply source, suppose if you connect too many devices, what will happen? Overloading, right? So this is called overloading. So basically when the total load which you are taking in your house, which in your house the total load which has been taking, say the total power consumed by all the electrical appliances, everything, if it exceeds the power limit for your house, which for that means which you were actually taking from the city substation, what will happen then? Overloading, okay. So due to overloading, then huge amount of current will now pass through the circuit, right? So due to this, if huge amount of huge amount of current passes, then obviously it will exceed the safety limit of current. Now if it exceeds the safety limit of current, so then obviously the appliances will get damaged now, right? So we need something to protect the wires in our house, the appliances in our house, so that they don't get damaged. So we need a device known as fuse. What is fuse? It is such an electrical device which protects the appliances when excess current, that means current excess than the safety limit of current, passes through the appliances. Remember, we use company fuse before the kilowatt hour meter. Then we use again the fuse in the distribution box, several fuses for each portions of the house. Also we use fuse before each electrical appliance also. So what is a fuse then? It is an electrical device, but what is it? It's basically a short thin piece of wire which we use, which has got certain characteristics. What are those? It should have high resistance. Why high resistance? Suppose if it has got more resistance, then more heat will be produced for a certain amount of current passing through it. If suppose 5 ampere current is passing through a fuse which has got say 10 ohm, say its resistance, we calculate that it's 10 ohm and it's passing through 20 ohm. So which one will produce more heating effect? I square RT. For the same amount of current flowing through it, R is more, then the heating effect is more, right? H equal to I square RT. So that's why we say that the fuse should be high resistance. So why do we want more heat to produce? That is because if more heat is not produced, how will it melt the wire? We need the wire to melt when excess amount of current will pass through the appliance. If excess amount of current more than the safety limit of the appliance, if it's passing, then we need such a thing which will stop the flow. How will it stop the flow? The fuse melts. The fuse melts. I'll just show from the book the working, then it will be easier for you to follow. That is why it has got low melting point also. Okay, because if it has got high melting point, then whatever amount of current is passing, we will see that the fuse is not melting. Heat is produced, sufficient amount of heat is produced, but still the fuse is not melting. That means easily the current more than the safety limit of current can pass through the appliance. Then what is the purpose of using the fuse then, right? So therefore we need the fuse to be high resistance and low melting point. Let's just show you. Just see, this is a socket which is fixed on the switchboard, right? Now this is a porcelain holder. It looks like this. You have seen a fuse in your house, carved portion, that's one, the porcelain holder. So this is a porcelain holder which has got two terminals. And can you see the fuse wire stretched, the short thin fuse wire stretched between the two terminals? Now this porcelain holder is attached to this socket and then fixed on the board, switchboard. Now what will happen? Live wire, fuse is connected also to the live wire. Why? We will learn that also. Notice that current is flowing through the live wire. Now what will happen? Say when normal, that means current within the safety limit of the current specified in a appliance, say 5 ampere is a safety limit. So when current is flowing within that safety limit, it's passing through the fuse wire and complete circuit. Fuse wire is not broken then. Okay, current is flowing and passing through it. Fine. But if the current exceeds the safety limit, then what will happen? Then due to the sufficient amount of heat energy produced, it will melt the fuse wire. If the fuse wire melts, obviously if it melts, just see, it will break now. Then is the circuit complete? Can the current flow through this incomplete path? No. So the flow of current is stopped. So the fuse wire therefore is made in such a way that it has got low melting point and high resistance. High resistance so that for a certain amount of current flowing through it, it can produce sufficient amount of heat energy. Joule effect of current. So sufficient amount of heat energy, why do we need that to produce a sufficient amount of heat energy? So that it can easily melt the fuse wire. That is why you imagine if I take a very high melting point, then we will need to produce a huge amount of heat then to melt it. That means that will also obstruct the flow of current through the wire then. For that we will have to need suppose if heating effect of current is too much, because if melting point is very high, so we'll need a lot of heat energy then to melt the fuse wire. So in that case, what will happen? A huge amount of heat will be produced, lot of electrical energy will be wasted, and also for that we need even higher resistance then. So that's why an optimum amount of high resistance is required. Okay, and also a low melting point fuse wire is required. That is why you get the question that why copper is not preferred and alloy of lead and tin is generally used as a fuse wire, because this has got very high specific resistance. Specific resistance is high. What have we learned? R equal to rho into L by A. So specific resistance is of a material is the resistance offered by the material per unit length, per unit cross sectional area. Specific resistance is nothing but it actually differentiates different materials on the basis of its resistance. So that means if I say A and B, A has more specific resistance than B. That means B is a good conductor. So basically therefore A, the one which has got high specific resistance has got more resistance than, okay. So that's why, so that's why alloy of lead and tin is preferred than copper, because copper has got actually high, alloy of lead and tin has got low melting point and also high specific resistance. Okay. Now, therefore this is how the fuse will act. Okay, so it will melt, and obviously the path of the current is then incomplete because the wire has broken by melting. So obviously current will not be able to flow. So just when the current exceeds the safety limit of current, then path of the current is incomplete, current is not able to flow, and we can save the appliance. Therefore the appliance is not being damaged. So therefore the fuse should be connected before or after the appliance. Before the appliance, because obviously we need to protect the appliance. So it acts as a shield. So before you enter the current, before you enter the appliance, you have to pass through me. It's like that. Okay, so fuse works like that. So nowadays, basically, instead of fuse, we generally prefer MCB. MCB, miniature circuit breaker. Miniature circuit breaker, MCBs are automatically operating switches, electronic switches. What is the advantage of using that? Same, purpose is same. MCB has the same purpose. It is used to protect the appliances, should be used before the appliances. So it's same. When current exceeds the safety limit, it will stop the flow of current by blocking the path of the current. How? Instead of fuse, just like in fuse wire, what happened? It melts and it breaks the path of the current. But in MCB, it automatically turns off. The switch turns down and the flow of current is stopped. Okay. It's an automatically operating switch. You don't have to manually do it. Okay, so when safety limit of current exceeds, the MCB works by automatically turning down, and again when you have to, then after the MCB has been turned down, that means the switch has been automatically turned down. So what we will have to do, then we will have to come and we have to call some electrician, and they will or we can also do it, just put it on, in the previous position. So that means instead of fuse, unlike the fuse wire, for fuse wire, once the fuse wire gets, it has melt down, can we use the same fuse wire? Obviously not. If the fuse wire has already melted down, then obviously it has been broken. How can I use the same fuse wire, right? So then we have to again connect a new fuse wire. But MCB, you don't have to replace it. That means the same MCB can be operated again. You just have to put it up. The switch, we just have to put it up. Okay, so it is an automatically operating switch. miniature circuit breakers. And also it has got another advantage over fuse, that its response time is even quicker than fuse. It responds even quickly than a fuse. Okay. Now, next is the current rating of a fuse. You have got a mathematical derivation here in this part. You don't need to do this derivations, okay? These derivations you don't need. But you need to know the conclusion. That is, higher the current rating of a fuse, so thicker is the fuse. For example, that means a fuse also has got certain current rating. For example, a 5 ampere fuse, 15 ampere fuse. That means we can use it for safety limit of this, or safety limit of 15 ampere, like this. So higher is a current rating, thicker is the fuse. So that means if I have a 5 ampere and a 15 ampere, obviously which one will be thicker? 15 ampere fuse will be thicker than the 5 ampere. So in our house, the fans and lights, they consume much less electric energy or current than the geysers, or say the like you have ACs, all those. So obviously you will get to know, because when the bill comes, you automatically get to know that which consumes more power. So that means the geysers or this type of things, they are actually more current consuming electrical appliances. So for them we need a higher rating fuse, right? So therefore for them we will need, say for example, a 15 ampere, say they are consuming 15 ampere current. So we will need a thick and 15 ampere fuse we will need. Can I use, suppose you have a appliance which consumes 15 ampere, another appliance which consumes 5 ampere. Can I use a fuse rating of 5 ampere with an appliance which has a safety limit of current as 15 ampere? No, because the 5 ampere fuse, that means the fuse will melt if current exceeds the 5 ampere. But that means our purpose will not be solved, because we don't want to do that, right? We want the safety limit of current to be maintained in the electrical appliance. But that doesn't mean that whatever current is passing, the fuse will melt and it will stop working. We don't want that. So if we have a 15 ampere, say we have a geyser, 15 ampere, it's a current rating of 15 ampere, say. Now if I use a fuse of 5 ampere, so what will happen? If current exceeds 5 ampere, it will melt and the appliance will not work. So that's not the thing which we want, right? Again, suppose if I have an appliance, say a bulb, which has got a safety limit of current, say 5 ampere, and I am using a fuse of current rating 15 ampere. Will it solve my purpose? No, because the appliance has a safety limit of current 5 ampere. The fuse is 15 ampere rated. So obviously, if safety limit of the fuse will melt only if it crosses the current exceeds the safety limit of current rating of the fuse. So that means before the fuse melts, the appliance will automatically get damaged, because already the current which will be flowing, say it is, because the fuse will be allowing current more than 5 ampere, because it is actually of rating 15 ampere, so it will be allowing current more than 5 ampere, which is greater than the safety limit of current for the appliance. So obviously we don't want that. So we actually use the fuse based of current ratings based on what appliance we want to use. If the appliance has more current consuming capacity, if the appliance has got the safety limit as more, current rating more, then we will use a higher current rating specified fuse. Then that means a thick fuse and also a higher current specified fuse. Okay. So you also get questions like this: a 5 ampere fuse, a current rating fuse, and a 15 ampere. Which one is thicker? Okay, like this. So basically, we generally take the fuse of current rating slightly more than the current rating of the electrical appliance for which it is being used. Okay, and where do we use the fuse? Obviously before the appliance. And in which wire? Live or neutral? Live wire. Fuse also, like the switch, should always be connected with the live wire. So let's just see why. See, just like previously we have seen, if I connect this is a fuse, how we represent a fuse. If I connect the fuse in the live wire, current is flowing, safety limit of current is flowing through the, say, geyser. Fine. Flow of current, the complete path, this is. And suppose when the fuse melts, if the fuse melts, the wire will break. So what will happen? If the fuse melts, the current will not be able, the complete path of current is not there, incomplete path, so current cannot flow. Obviously the purpose of fuse is served. Now suppose if I connect the fuse in the neutral wire, the normal condition fine. When safety limit of current is, it's within the safety limit of current, no problem. Normally current is flowing and backflow of path for the current, complete path. But suppose if current exceeds the safety limit, more current is flowing now. What will happen? Fuse will melt, fine. So obviously there will be the complete path of current is not there, incomplete path, so the current is not able to flow. That means the geyser will stop working. Very good. But see, the geyser is still connected to the high potential live wire. So if I touch the geyser at that time, I'll get a shock then, right? So that's why fuse is also connected always in the live wire. Switch is also always connected in the live wire. Okay.